Jannicke, welcome to Europe's largest exhibition for human spaceflight, Apollo and beyond, at the Technik-Museum Speyer, pretty much soon after your From-2 mission. Yeah? We are celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Space Shuttle mission STS-99 Shuttle Radar Topography mission, or SRTM for short. You have a very special connection to this mission, which we will discuss later. How do you like it here so far?
I love it. Thank you for making my childhood dreams come true. I mean, I had a hope to interview the STS-99 crew 25 years ago, and finally I get the opportunity.
You are a well-known Norwegian filmmaker who has already received many awards. How did you come to be selected for the From-2 space mission?
In my case, I wasn't just immediately selected. I had a track record and I'd specialized in filming for space. So I was living on the polar island, Svalbard, and I was specialized in filming in hazardous environments and previously filmed underwater as well, which is very similar to space. I was also the payload specialist on board One More Orbit, which was a fastest polar flight around our planet. And my technology was built specifically, which I hoped would be used in space. And then finally it was.
Oh, that is perfect.
I saw an opportunity now that there's commercial space that we need to tell stories. We need to show people how incredible space is. And we need to show the amazing science that gets performed in space and the incredible engineering that happens.
This is what we do here with the exhibition, for example.
Yes.
So can you tell me something about the idea and content of this mission, and what were the specifications for Jun Wang when he put the crew together?
Yes, so Jun, as our mission commander, he wanted it to be the first ever polar orbit, which has never been done before, to fly in directly in 90 degrees. And he also wanted a crew that had a polar connection and could contribute in communicating how important a polar orbit was. Therefore, I was recruited into the crew because of my background as a cinematographer and specialized in filming polar environments. Now, we also had 22 science projects on board, and for us, it was very difficult to select the correct kind of science where we could contribute value, because our mission was only 3.5 days. But the longest duration we could do with the Dragon vehicle. Otherwise, we wouldn't have enough oxygen.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we focused a lot on, for instance, aurora, and collecting a data bank of data that's never existed before, so that we can understand the mass of aurora. And that way we can make satellites that sustain your daily life on your telephone and my daily life, and make it more economical and sustainable to keep those satellites in orbit.
A professional astronaut first undergoes 1 or 2 years of basic training as an ASCAN, as an astronaut candidate, and then one selected for a mission undergoes mission training. How long did the training at SpaceX last, and what were the main focuses?
So we got to know about our mission 18 months prior to flight. And our training started 14 months prior to flight, which is terrifying. Because basically what happens is that we as non-astronauts receive an astronaut training, and then when we receive our certification, boom, immediately into space.
You go,
And that's a high risk, and we understand the risk that brings along. So we are 4 astronauts now, but it's our first time flight, and we don't know what's normal. You know, is that sound normal? We have nobody to ask, so we knew that would be a huge risk. So we trained. I mean, I was putting in 12 hours a day so that I knew that I could get at least 5,000 hours of knowledge before my space flight. But I feel like a small baby in front of NASA astronauts.
On March 31 this year, you launched into space as a Dragon vehicle commander aboard the SpaceX Dragon Resilience atop a Falcon 9 rocket. How did you feel emotionally during the ignition of the engines, liftoff, stage separation, and reaching zero gravity?
Yes, so first of all, I called my vehicle, her name was Resilience, but I call her Resilia. So for me, it was very important to have a personal relationship with my Dragon vehicle so I could learn everything about her, where all the cables were, what are the data systems. Yes, she's autonomous and she's driven from the ground, but I need to be able to take over together with my pilot, Rabea.
But she's like a human being. She is alive.
She is alive. Well, she doesn't feel alive until launch. So she feels much like the simulator that we've been training in for 14 months. But then when you go onto the launch tower, you push that button. The top button says space.
On the elevator.
On the elevator. You take the elevator up. You go out on the space platform. You go out on the crew arm. You set yourself inside the Resilience, in Resilia. She's 70 meters above the ground.
Yeah.
And she sways a little bit, so you can feel it, okay, but it feels a lot like the simulator. And you go through the checklist. The checklist takes 2.5 hours, but then 30 minutes before launch, there's fuel injection.
Yeah.
Then she feels alive. Yeah, and you can feel the fuel just get punched into the first stage. She's like, boom, and she starts to shake. Because remember, everything that's Resilia is made out and Falcon 9 is expanding now. So you can hear the materials whistling. You can hear it cracking, and you can feel the Dragon start to breathe. And then you get hit by another fuel injection, and you feel like, boom, and then boom, and this lasts for a good 20 minutes. Yeah. And then the liquid oxygen needs to vent, and then the Dragon starts to breathe, and she goes,
yeah, with all these clouds coming out.
Yes.
The steam, yeah.
And I check with my crew, okay, we're doing a final check. Are we all good to launch? Yes, SpaceX Dragon, Fram 2, go for launch, and the countdown starts. And when we're at 10, 9, 8, everything's nominal, we get to 5, 4, I can't hear 3, 2, 1. The engines have already ignited, and it feels like we're already leaving the launch pad. And we clear the tower. It was pretty slow, surprisingly slow. I was like, oh, is this bad? Is this good? Don't know. First time flyer. And then as soon as we clear the tower, boom, we get slung back in our seats.
You launched from launch pad 39A, where Apollo 11 lifted off in July '69.
Yes.
For the first lunar landing, for the first manned lunar landing. How did that make you feel, and what does it mean to you?
I got to use the same phone. We get to call our families right before launch. It's the same phone that the Apollo 11 astronauts used.
Oh, that's great. So the mission lasted just under 4 days, and you orbited the Earth 56 times. What were your main tasks?
My main task as a vehicle commander is to make sure that the health of my vehicle and crew is top-notch. So it's the safety. Safety during dynamic phase, launch away from the atmosphere. Once we're in orbit, it's all physics. So when we're in orbit, I can relax a little bit. I'm always paying attention to the vents and valves.
To the noises,
Exactly. I'm listening to Resilia like a baby. And during the night, you can see that my sleep curve corresponds with the valves opening and shutting. So it's like listening to a baby, and then it's just like, did the baby start crying? Is the baby breathing? Yes. And then dynamic phase coming back home to Earth.
So describe how you experience weightlessness and your impressions when you saw the Earth from an altitude of 400 kilometers. Did it change anything in your life?
The short answer is yes. It's when you're in space, and we're in low Earth orbit, so you're not that far away from Earth, but it's still impactful that you feel like a goldfish outside of your own planet. So you're floating like you're swimming, but you're looking at your own planet, and your own planet is over there. And we live on a magnificent planet, and it looks alive, and it fills me with joy, and it's full of color, and you look the other way, and it's dark. There's nothing. There's no life. But what made the biggest impact for me was that we are killing each other on this planet. And the same technology that shot me into space, I saw a missile fly in space destined to kill people on planet Earth. And that made the biggest impact.
Sad. This is very sad,
Exactly the same technology. And I think when you work in technology, you have a responsibility to use your knowledge for good or bad.
Yeah, that's right. So the mission ended on April 4th, 2025. with a splashdown in the Pacific Ocean near Oceanside, California.
Yes.
How did you experience the return, the jettison of the Dragon trunk, re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, and the opening of the parachutes and the splashdown?
That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
How do in short, well, we do our deorbit burn to get down from our altitude of 450 kilometers, and we get down to approximately, once we lower our apogee and perigee, to a point where gravity grabs a hold of our Dragon capsule. Yeah. And then when we jettison the trunk, we're sort of flying next to our trunk at the same time, going through the atmosphere. But then because of our heat shield being against the atmosphere, we're going to go faster, and then the trunk will burn up. But as you hit that atmosphere, you need to come in at the exactly correct angle. You don't want to jump off of the atmosphere and go in the opposite direction. Yeah. But then when you go through, you start hitting air molecules, and you hit them at 28,000 kilometers per hour, and this becomes plasma.
Yeah, the plasma.
And the plasma covers a spaceship for 7 minutes, and this is a blackout period. Yeah. But inside, it looks like a disco.
It's the loss of signal in the NASA language. Yeah.
Yes, loss of signal. But on the inside, we see orange light and yellow light flashing, and it's actually pretty cool. But then the G-force becomes so heavy that you can't lift anything. It's 4.7 Gs, and it's difficult to talk. So you're like, and then you're trying to establish communication as well. So you're going SpaceX Dragon, calling in the blind, comm check. And then SpaceX Dragon, comm check. Comm check. And then you start getting nervous because you're not getting...
You didn't hear anybody.
Yes, exactly. And it's past 7 minutes, and it goes to 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Comm check, nothing. And they don't know if we're alive either, because they can't have a comm check with us. And then after a while we heard... And then we heard, Dragon, SpaceX, we have you loud and clear. And then we could hear everybody in mission control, like, celebrating.
Yeah. Just under 30 minutes after the splashdown, the Dragon capsule was aboard the recovery ship Shannon. How did you experience this phase from splashdown to egress? Was the sea rough, or was it very calm?
No. It was a very smooth landing, but because the heat shield is round, when we land in the water, it starts to roll like this. And we've been weightless for 3.5 days, so this motion here is quite triggering. Now, we weren't seasick, but I definitely felt quite seasick until they pick us up and they lift us on board Shannon. We're also the first human spaceflight crew to self-egress. That means that we ourselves take off our restraints and we walk out of the spaceship, and we also have to carry a 30-pound bag.
I saw that.
Lift it up and put it outside, and that thing feels like it weighs 90 kilos. So it's so heavy. Even my bum felt heavy. I've never felt that before. My head was heavy. And we had to self-egress out of our own spaceship.
Jannicke, you are the first Norwegian astronaut and the first Norwegian citizen at all, ever fly into space. You have made history. What does this mean to you?
Well, I'm very grateful for Chun for selecting me and allowing me the opportunity to be the first Norwegian astronaut ever. So I'm very proud of my flag and being able to represent my country.
As I mentioned in the beginning, you are spending a few days with us at the Technik-Museum Speyer for the 25th anniversary of the STS-99 SRTM mission. NASA astronauts Commander Kevin Kriegel, pilot Daum, Janet Cavandi, and German ESA astronaut Gerhard are present. Janice Voss passed away in 2012, and Mamoru Mori was unable to come. You have a deep connection to this STS-99 mission that flew in 2000. We have to imagine we have 30 years of space shuttle, 135 missions, but you have a connections exactly to that mission.
Yes.
You were a teenager at the time and have carried an Apollo 11 and an STS-99 pin with you. What is your special connection to these missions?
I always carry the STS-99 pin with me and also on spaceflight, because when I was 10, I was in a serious horse riding accident. I fell off my horse, which meant that I spent 5 years learning to walk again. And in that time period when I had to relearn everything, and I'd lost my motor skills, I'd basically lost the use of my brain as well, and everything had to be built up again. my teacher said, since I couldn't go to school, I should just study something I'm interested in. And at that time, that was STS-99. And he spent years preparing the mission, and NASA was talking about it online, so I could log onto the internet from my home in Norway and learn about this space mission. And I didn't know what 3D was. And then eventually I could talk to other teenagers online, on online chat groups, and we were trying to find out what is 3D, and we started taking pictures in 3D. And then I decided there and then that I couldn't be an astronaut because I had a serious injury and my body wasn't healthy. Yeah. But I could become a stereographer. Yeah. And that's what the STS-99 mission inspired me to follow my dreams. And I even asked NASA if I could talk to the astronauts for my school project and if I could interview them. But unfortunately, the email was answered 6 months after I sent it. Oh. So it wasn't really possible.
But now, after 25 years, you got to meet yesterday 4 of the crew members.
Yes.
I think this was exciting for me because it closes a very good project when you started as a teenager. Yeah.
And I got to fly into space and also film the planet in 3D with 25-year-old new technology. Yeah. And you know what's fun? I filmed the exact amount of data that they did on STS-99.
That's interesting.
14 terabytes of video.
Yeah. On your mission, we had the first German female astronaut, Rabea Rocker, and I'm already in very good connection and contact with her. And we are planning a big event here at the museum next year, maybe with the whole crew. And you agreed to attend again. And next year, we will talk more about your crew and your mission, especially as you as the first Norwegian, Rabea as the first German female. And I'm already working on that. Thank you.
And this is new space. Yeah, the opportunity is open.
Yeah. And Jannicke, thank you very much for this great interview. I'm very excited that you could come.
And
here.
Thank you for making my dreams come true.
Yeah. It's my pleasure. I support you.
I wish I could tell 10-year-old me this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Perfect. Okay.
Take care.
Thanks.